What's up, everybody? This is your Cosmic Homegirl, and I'm doing a forecast for all of us for the week that begins May 19th of 2019 and ends on Sunday, May the 26th, 2019. So, this is just a general forecast for all of us, for all the signs. It's not separated by sign. If you would like anything revolving around May, like a May forecast, I do have those available on my website. June forecast will be up very, very soon as well. And before I get started on this week's cosmic weather and what the energy is like, I do have a sale going on only through midnight Pacific time on May 21st, and that is with solar return charts, which is your birthday chart, your birthday horoscope from one year to the next, and then also natal charts, which is basically just me reading your chart and letting you know what your birth date and time and place say about your personality. So I have those on sale through midnight May 21st, 2019. So hit my website. The information is below in the description area. And my website is indigomoonastrology.com. Okay, so the cosmic weather for the week. What's going on? What do we still have lingering? Well, we still have Venus and Uranus in a conjunction with each other, hanging around each other through this week. It was exact on the day of the full moon. Yo, how's everybody doing after the full moon in Scorpio? I'm really curious because I clown about how every year different publications will post all this like scary ass stuff about the full moon in Scorpio, like it's a bloody full moon in Scorpio, we're all gonna die, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, are you guys serious? So and like these big old scary moon pictures, but no, Scorpio is a sign that can deal with some scary stuff in life. Yes, it is. So it's just a very intense water sign, and water signs are the most emotional out of the zodiac, and Scorpio is a sign that is water, so it is very emotional, and it's intensely emotional. Like it deals with life or death situations, so I covered the full moon in Scorpio last week, but I just wanted to know like the outcome. How's everybody doing so far? Have you guys, I did a little poll on my Instagram stories, and I asked if everybody's good, if they're chilling, or if they're like feeling super intense, and I would say it was like 60% everybody said they're doing good, and then 40% said they're like feeling mad intense with the Scorpio full moon. Some people even said, oh my gosh, I was really sick, or I was really tired. That could be other things that are transiting in their personal charts, but I'll tell you one thing, as a Scorpio rising, the full moon, it had me wired, like weird night owl wired. Scorpions are natural, we're natural night owls. If you have placements in the sign of Scorpio, or in your 8th house especially, you might be a night owl person, or even maybe in the 12th house too. But anyway, so yeah, I was like up at like a crazy hour, and then I would sleep at weird times of the day. I've mostly found myself to be very up and down with this full moon. So let me know how you guys are doing. So we're still within the energy of the full moon during this week that I'm covering. It's just maybe some things that the full moon was to manifest for us are going to start showing up if they haven't already. For some people, they can start showing up now, maybe even in the week following. You know what I'm saying? Like the energy of the full moon can, like the results of the full moon can be seen or experienced up to like 2 weeks after. So anyway, we still have Venus and Uranus conjunct. That's what I was talking about. So on the day of the full moon, these two planets were at the same exact degree, at 4 degrees of Taurus, right? So they were just like buzzing with energy, like Venus, it rules relationships and money and just love in general, a love of life, a love of living in this material physical world that we're in. So when we have Venus and Uranus together, like Uranus is things that happen all of a sudden and unexpectedly, and things that are out of the norm, out of the ordinary. And so it's like he zaps Venus with all this like electricity. So if you are a Taurus or a Libra, let me know how you're doing with this energy, because Venus is your ruling planet. So if your ruling planet is being zapped with all this electrical all these electrical charges and surges and stuff. Like, you can feel that way yourself. You can feel restless. Maybe you have some issues with technology, perhaps. Um, my both my kids are Libras one way or another. But the one that's a sun sign in Libra, his TV in his room has been like turning on by itself and doing all this crazy stuff. And so he's been having some technological issues. And I think another friend of mine who's a Libra, Libra sun and rising, I think they said that they were having some issues with their technology. And yeah, I'm a Taurus sun sign, so I'm ruled by Venus heavily. And I've had some issues with my phone the last like week or so. And I was real mad because I had some phone issues that kind of interfered with my money a little bit. You know what I mean? It was like, it kind of interrupted my businesses, so I was like so mad about that. But yeah, we may be experiencing technological issues, especially if you are ruled by Venus. Like I said, like your sun, moon, or rising sign is in Taurus or Libra, or if Venus, or if Taurus is if it lands in one of the places in your chart that rules like technology, communication, devices, stuff like that. But yeah, some people may have had like some sudden attractions or sudden meetings of people or something, So if you've had anything crazy, or maybe even like sudden breakups, sudden makeups, sudden anything that has to do with love that could come as a surprise, or maybe people are just getting a little bit more like daring and bold when it comes to love and just taking risks with this energy. So just, yeah, I've seen some of that too. Actually, I was just chatting with several different friends like on Instagram, and they've had some situations like that come up one way or another. And it's just very interesting. Everybody had like a different way that Venus and Uranus, a conjunction like this can affect your life with either love or money. I've had at least like one friend for each scenario that's told me like, yo, this happened with money, or this happened with rekindling something, or this happened with suddenly, being attracted to somebody. Like, yeah, all of that has been going on. So of course, let me know in the comments. I love hearing what you guys have to say about your experiences. So anyway, we have this energy still lingering throughout this week. And what else do we have going on? Venus and Mars, you know what? I'm so happy about this. Venus and Mars are making good aspects to one another this week, and they already have been making good aspects to each other. I'm gonna say over the last like week or so, maybe the last 2 weeks we can say that, because Venus is the planet that rules everything feminine in nature, right? And then Mars rules everything masculine in nature. So if these two planets are getting along with each other, it's helping out with hopefully helping some of us out with smoothing out any conflicts that come up, especially between masculine and feminine beings, or males and females, or I say feminine and masculine beings because nowadays people get to express themselves a little bit more freely as far as like whatever their gender or their sex is. Maybe it's something a little bit different than the norm. So anyway, but yeah, Venus and Mars. Venus is about balance and harmony, and Mars is about conflict. So if these two are working together, maybe there's some things that come up that could potentially be like a big conflict, some sort of fight or argument, but maybe they get smoothed out, or they're not as harsh as they could be. I actually have had that come up personally, to where I'm just like, there's something I could really, really just kind of like rip somebody's head off about, but I stop myself, and, we end up being in a compromise with each other rather than like, rah, 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 so where I was thinking the situation was going to be more like, rah, but nah, it went smooth. There was some flare ups of like some tones being raised a little bit here and there, but Venus helps you to smooth things out even if something comes up like that. So Venus and Mars are still making good aspects together, and this is good for relationships, for getting along with I try to reiterate this all the time because I'm pretty open-minded, and I know astrology could be a very traditional in a lot of ways with roles with, like, the energy that's assigned to the signs and the planets and everything. But there's different categories of people these days that don't always fall into the traditional. So I always say, feminine beings and masculine beings getting along. But it doesn't matter what you like classify yourself as. When you're in a relationship with someone, when you're attracted to someone, usually you're attracted to the opposite of you, right? If you're very masculine, even if you're a woman, a biological woman, you're very masculine in nature. You could be attracted to, men who are maybe a little more feminine to like balance things out. So it doesn't matter which role you play, the masculine and the feminine getting along is great for every type of relationship, especially, romantic ones. So that's popping off this week. Other than that, you guys, I'm not going to say this week is quiet, because quiet. No. It's quote unquote quiet as far as any other crazy aspects going on. But let me tell you though, so we have the Sun and Mercury both going into Gemini on May 21st. Okay, so the Sun and Mercury both in Gemini. Now the Sun is expression, it could be ego, it's like the conscious expression of yourself. And then Mercury is communication and thoughts. So Sun conjunct Mercury in general, this could be a very fun energy. It's like, it's making people speak out a lot more. Trust me, it is. Even while it's in Taurus, Taurus is a very chill sign. It's not one that's very like outspoken and talks very fast and talks a lot. No. Taurus isn't about that life. Taurus is much more serene and calm, and they speak when they find there's like a reason to speak. You know what I'm saying? But anyhow, the Sun and Mercury conjunct is bringing out more like, talks and conversation. So now Mercury is the ruling planet of Gemini. So Mercury is going into its home sign, and the Sun is moving into Gemini. So what this means is all this Gemini energy is going to start being beamed down upon us. I have seen such funny memes. Gemini is one of the most clowned signs with astrological memes and stuff. Gemini gets it bad all the time. Gemini and also Cancer does too a lot, I noticed. But and it depends on your source of memes, like which sign gets it the worst. But Geminis, I think they get clowned a lot. And what's cool is Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Mercury can rule like jokes, and Mercury is a very youthful energy. So it can be trickster, prankster, fun, energy. So because of that, I find that Gemini energy people, they tend to be like cool with the jokes. They go along with the jokes and the memes and stuff. But I've seen some funny ones, like you guys have to check them out. But anyway, the Sun and Mercury together in Gemini, that's uber Gemini energy being, bestowed upon us this week. And the Sun is going to be in the sign of Gemini until June 21st. And then Mercury is going to be in Gemini until only until June 4th, only for a couple of weeks, because Mercury, whenever it's not retrograde and it's in its regular orbit, its regular cycle, it moves very fast. It's only in a sign for maybe roughly about 2 weeks, and then that's it, So yeah, these two planets together, just get ready, you guys, get ready. Get ready for more jokes and memes, yes, being shared, more conversations, but the conversations are not gonna be like super long though, and staying on the same subject for too long. It's very quick moving energy, Gemini. It's quick-witted. It's the mind moving very fast from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. It makes me think of that Jay-Z song, On to the Next One. That's a Gemini motto right there, so that's what this energy is going to be like starting this week, starting on the 21st. I think which planet enters Gemini first, just to be exact and nerdy. Let's check it out here, you guys. I want to say it is. Oh, okay. So it's Mercury, maybe? I don't know. They're very close together, as you can see. Okay, so the sun, it's like right. Okay. So it's like the sun enters Gemini. This is Pacific time, west coast of the US, west side. So the sun enters Gemini. It looks like exactly right before 1 a.m. Pacific time. And then Mercury's still in Taurus. It'll shift like let's say like about 2 a.m. Pacific time. Okay, maybe 3. Yeah, okay, maybe 4, like right before 4 a.m. Pacific time. If you're on the eastern part of the US, what is that, like 7 a.m. And then beyond that, it's just like, maybe in the early evening, late afternoon, in the eastern part of the world. So by the time we get to the afternoon, like pretty much over here in America, when people wake up in the morning, we'll be basking in the Gemini energy. Okay. But yeah, so that's the sun and Mercury here in the sign of Gemini. So, Gemini energy, it can't stay in one spot for too long. Mentally, it cannot. That's why, your body has to keep up with what's going on in your mind and your brain, right? So that's why Gemini energy, it moves around so fast. This is an energy to where people will try to multitask a lot. If you don't already do that, that's not really in your nature. You're going to be doing that a lot more. Like just grabbing something and, doing this and that, and then like moving on to something else, and then moving on to something else, and like maybe not even finishing anything all the way before you move to something else. And it's an energy that can get easily bored. And this energy will have a lot of people like on their phones a lot more than usual, and just talking a lot more, and saying things like in the moment that maybe they may not mean the next moment. You know what I'm saying? It's like in the moment I meant that, but then a couple minutes later it's like, nah, I'm not interested in that anymore. So if anybody out there holds on to words that people say like very closely and dearly and holds them to it, Gemini energy is like, yeah, I may have said that in that moment, but that was that moment. What happens after that is beyond me. Okay, it's beyond my control. So that's how Gemini energy can be. So yeah, we're going to be all up in the mix of that. And pretty much everything else, you guys, all the other planets are still going to be the same throughout the rest of the week. We have Venus moving away from Uranus, but look, she's still going to be hanging around Uranus. I'm going to say by the time we end the week, the Venus-Uranus conjunction will have dissipated and separated to where they don't really count. You know what I'm saying? So they will be further away from each other, not really, interacting with each other as closely. So like as far as beauty, love, money, and all that stuff being like zapped by Uranus, it's not going to be as hard, not as hardcore anymore. And the Sun and Mercury, by the time we end the week, they will still be in a conjunction together in Gemini, bringing all this mischievous, court jester, fun Gemini energy. Just do not promise things in moments that you won't be able to keep up with. After that moment ends, do not try to do too much at once, okay, and multitask and then just forget about stuff. Yeah, our minds will be busy, our bodies will be busy, we'll just be busy. What to stay away from with Gemini energy? Gossip. Now, I ain't the one to gossip. You ain't hearing from me. No, you didn't. Yes. Miss Benita betrayal. Yes. All the Miss Benitas of the world are going to come out even stronger during Gemini season. Just gossiping away, honey. But yeah, it is very fun energy. I think after the intensity of the full moon in Scorpio, we're going to need some of this. We're going to need some lighthearted, some air energy in the mix. I find Gemini energy to be very fun and entertaining personally. Like I love their bouncy, fun nature and how they just kind of, I love their sense of humor, that the fact that they have a sense of humor. I don't know, maybe I'm biased a little bit because I have Mercury, which is their ruling planet, in my 7th house of relationships and others that I like, and also, if you're hip to progress charts, my progress Sun and Mars are in Gemini. So I'm a progressed Gemini, which really shows a lot. And speaking of progress charts, I haven't done any announcements on them, but I do offer readings of progress charts, like focusing in on the progress chart. So if anybody's interested in that, that is on my regular services page on my website. If you scroll down a little bit more, progress charts are definitely there. I love looking into those. They tell you where you're at in life now based on how the planets in your chart shift and move every year. It's very interesting. But yeah, so maybe I'm biased because I'm a progressed Gemini. I don't know, but I love Gemini energy for a lot of reasons. A lot of the Gemini stuff can, work my nerves because I do have a very fixed nature in my natal chart and in my personality, to where I'm like, you guys are a little too bouncy sometimes. You need to settle down and sit down, and like sometimes you need to be quiet. Sometimes you need to stop with the comebacks and stop coming back and just let things be and let things go verbally. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, have fun this week, you guys. This week's energy is all about fun. Yeah, we have the moon. It's going to be in more serious Cappy, and it'll be in Aquarius, and then Pisces. We end the week with the Pisces moon. But still, like, Venus and Uranus together is fun energy. It can be very fun, very experimental with your looks, with relationships, a lot of things. You become a little more open-minded to stuff. Oh, and this is my Venus return, you guys. Venus is hitting all my Taurus stellium, so I am happy about that. So if you guys notice me posting more selfies, I know my Instagram is mainly for business for my astrology, but hey, I labeled myself as an artist for a reason. I have other art and that I like to express and show, and most of it still relates to astrology. But hey, if you see me posting some selfies, more selfies than usual, or trying to be cute, just leave me alone, okay? Because I'm having a Venus return right now. And when you have your Venus return, you'll understand. But yes, this energy is fun. Mars in Cancer. Mars still continues to be in Cancer. And this is we're going to be dealing with this until July 1st. So I'm not going to elaborate too hardcore on Mars and Cancer. But yo, Mars and Cancer energy reminds me so much of the water boy. The water boy is the ultimate, like, representation of Cancerian energy. Like, but mama said, like, he loves his mama. Everything mama says is gospel and golden. And he will fight. If anybody who says mama's wrong, he will fight, So yeah, that's what Mars and Cancer reminds me of. Like, no Colonel Sanders, you're wrong, mama's right. So even if you're not a Cancer, you may actually tap into that a little bit. But anyhow, you guys, that's pretty much what's going on this week. The stars of the show are the Sun and Mercury and Gemini, pretty much. So enjoy that energy while it lasts. It's more lighthearted and fun. But yeah, if you would like a personal reading, hit my website. The information is below. I have a sale, like I said, through midnight Pacific time, West Coast time on the 21st. Up to like midnight, the 21st/22nd. I'm having my sale on natal charts and solar return charts. So go hit my website. All right, you guys. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Instant Go. Instant Go is an app where you can get readings text to you, shortened, quicker versions of readings texted. Jeez, I cannot speak English here. You can get readings text to you on that app, and I can answer questions and stuff. Oh yeah, I had a sale on that too. I think I still have it up. I'll keep the sale up. Okay, so I'll keep my sale up for Instant Go. Questions, $8.88 a question. All right, $8.88 a question. They're normally $11.11 a question. So just find me on the Instant Go app. And there's actually a link below in the description box to find me there too. All right, guys. So that's it. I'll see you in my next video. Have a really awesome week. Don't forget to also check out myself and Apollonia, the astrology lady, here on my channel. We will be doing a follow-up to the Lilith webinar, Lilith workshop that we did last week on what day was that? It was the 15th of May or 16th. Yo, it was last week, okay? Like the 16th, I think, of May. We did a free workshop on Lilith. We are continuing and doing part 2 of that, so stay posted to my channel here live. We will be doing that on Thursday, which is the 23rd, I believe. So just stay posted to my social media outlets for all the info on that. But anyhow, you guys, I will see you next in my next video. Hope to see some of you guys on the 23rd. And have a great week. Have fun this week. Send me some memes, some good memes. All right, take care. Peace.